today's video, I want to talk about the 6 biggest misconceptions I hear constantly about starting an indoor playground business. Now, through the years, I've gotten hundreds, maybe even thousands of calls, emails, and in-person inquiries from prospective play cafe owners. They all generally start the same with an innocent, "Hey Michelle, I was wondering if I could pick your brain about opening a play cafe in my area." Now, when I had time and only one business, I took close to 100 of these calls and meetings. This was one of the many reasons I created Play Cafe Academy, because I had noticed that everyone had the same questions, got stuck at the same point of the opening process, and had the same misconceptions about what it's really like to start an indoor playground business. So, without further ado, here are the 6 things I hear from nearly every prospective owner and why each statement is not necessarily true. Number 1, opening this business will mean more time with my children and spouse. This statement can be true, but definitely isn't guaranteed, especially in the first year or 2 of your business. Starting any business, especially a brick and mortar one, is a tremendous amount of work and will require your constant time and attention as its owner. It's comparable to having another baby. While your business can become much more streamlined and hands-off for you a few months down the road, it's not a given. In order to make this true, you must be dedicated to hiring a great team, training them properly and continuously, and perfecting and documenting your systems until your establishment runs like a well-oiled machine. Most businesses never reach this point, and the owners burn out and fail. Unless you educate yourself properly and set time aside to bring your business to this level, your wish to spend more time with your family will unfortunately remain a dream, and it will never become your reality. Misconception number 2. All indoor playground owners must be rich. They're always so crowded. I often hear this statement after someone visits us during spring break or on the first rainy day we've had in a month over the summer. The truth is that this business is seasonal and cyclical, and you should never assume that the traffic you observe on a specific day is the norm. Even if it is the norm, a high-volume business that serves that many customers a day will also experience increased costs. Their labor will be higher, they'll run through supplies and paper products faster, and their equipment will need to be replaced much more often. If you want a true picture of the volume you can expect in your business, observe other local play areas during different seasons, at different times of day, and in different kinds of weather. You'll begin to see patterns emerge, and therefore you'll be better equipped to anticipate and prepare for the ebbs and flows in your own business. Misconception number 3, indoor playground X just closed, so there's a need for a new space in my area. If another indoor playground in your area closed, be sure to examine the issues that factored into their closing. The business's failure may have had something to do with the customer base and not necessarily the business model or owner. For example, is there a big enough customer base in the area? Were the business's prices too high for the local demographic? Was their space too big and expensive or too small and crowded? Did they fail to update and refurbish their equipment? Were the owners working there full-time, depending on the business as their sole source of income? Be sure to interview as many previous customers as possible, even past employees if you can find any, and try to get a sense of what went wrong and if these problems will in fact follow you into your business. The more information you get, the more likely you will be to overcome these issues. What I'd like you to remember about this misconception is that every business owner works hard, does research, and thinks they have a grand slam idea when they get started. It's easy as another prospective owner to assume the worst about those who have failed before you, but you must recall that they were once in your shoes and filled with vigor and optimism. Number 4, I could do blank better than indoor playground X in my town. This statement ties in with the previous misconception. If there is a problem with another indoor playground in your area, you need to examine the cause of that concern. For example, an indoor playground local to me has a kinetic sand table. For years, people have flooded their social media with complaints that the sand is dirty, it's sparse, and it's in desperate need of a refresh. As an outsider, it's easy to spot these issues, make suggestions, and assume that if you were in the owner's shoes, you'd fix the issues immediately. However, when I spoke to this particular owner, I discovered that it would cost thousands to refresh the sand and that they just had other improvements that needed to be prioritized, like updating kitchen appliances for food safety. Customers have no idea or no way of knowing all of the behind the scenes workings of a business and how often it will require expensive maintenance and replacements that you can't even see. This leads many people to assume that the owner is simply out of touch or negligent. These same people learn very quickly that not every piece of feedback can be implemented and not every issue can be fixed immediately, and that these financial decisions can be difficult and emotional for us as owners to make. Misconception number 5, I can definitely get this business up and running for less money than that. This is a statement I often get in response to telling someone that it cost us about $200,000 to start our business. If you find a space that doesn't require a custom build out, or if the equipment you have your eye on seems like the price is too good to be true, it's easy to assume you can get a playground up and running for a fraction of what we did. And the scary thing is you actually can. I just want you to approach this the same way you might when you pull your skinny jeans out of the drawer for the first time in a few months. Just because they zip does not mean they fit. Just because you can bootstrap your business and accomplish an opening for under $40,000 does not mean that you should. I've seen dozens of these inexpensive business models open and close in the same year, usually due to lack of capital, lack of equipment, or poor customer experience. If you try to renovate an old office or house into a profitable playground, you'll be met with obstacles and face an uphill battle when it comes to pleasing and retaining customers. Misconception number 6. I used to be a teacher or a daycare worker or a nanny, so I would obviously be great at this. Now, this is seriously the most common misconception I hear. While it may seem like a no-brainer that someone who's experienced in working with children would make a fantastic indoor playground owner, this is not necessarily true. Education experience often does not translate into business acumen, and unfortunately, many of the businesses I see struggle are opened and operated by teachers. Yes, these particular businesses offer their communities fantastic programs and really thoughtfully chosen equipment, but they are more likely to be a mess behind the scenes and have no idea if their business is thriving or actually failing financially. Now, this is not to say that a teacher cannot successfully operate a playground, because they definitely can. What sets any successful owner apart from an unsuccessful one is that they focus on what they're great at and they ask for help where they lack. For example, I have business experience and training, so I had to hire help when it came to our class curriculum and choosing our equipment. If you are a teacher and lack business experience, particularly brick and mortar experience, which is so important, you must find a business partner, a coach, or a consultant who does have this experience to help you. The fact of the matter is that business consultants are just much more expensive to hire than teachers, which is why most teacher owners forego this cost to their detriment. Now, I've believed all of these misconceptions at one point or another, and I found that through experience, this business is much more nuanced than it seems. I want to remind you that it is very possible to open and operate a profitable indoor playground and to do so with joy, free time, and financial freedom. However, preparation, planning, and budgeting are key. If you've had any of these misconceptions before going through this list, I urge you to take a deeper dive and find out how you can uncover the reality that you want and what that actually means for your potential business. So if you are even considering owning or operating a indoor playground business, I want you to download our free ebook on exactly how to do so. It has 34 pages of tips, insider secrets, checklists, and more to make sure that this is not only the right business for you, but that you are prepared and that you know exactly what you need to do to succeed. See you there, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel.